Five friends head out to rural Texas to visit the grave of a grandfather. On the way there, they stumble across what happens to be a deserted house, only to discover something sinister within. Something armed with a chainsaw. Hello, everyone. My name is Jason, and welcome to my Texas Chainsaw Massacre review from 1974. You are watching Backtrack Cinema, a safe place where we talk movies of the past, and this is my Backtrack Cinema Halloween Horror Nights. All October, guys, we will be reviewing 70s horror films and some other good stuff just thrown in between if I have time. So sit back this month and relax and everything, because we are going to be diving deep into the classic 70s horror films. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what can I say? I mean, it is a bona fide classic. A lot of people love it. Some people maybe not as much. And this film is not the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre film I ever watched. I remember early memories of Texas Chainsaw 2 and Texas Chainsaw 3. I don't remember anything from it, but I do remember like a scene here and there. But I really got to rewatch like Texas Chainsaw 3. But that was like, that's what I remember. And then when the remake come out, I really liked it in 2003. So then I went back and watched this one. And back then, wasn't a fan really. I didn't see the movie that everyone else sees for this flick. Over the years, as I matured, I appreciated film a lot more. I appreciated what it was going for. That appreciation turned into respecting it. Then respecting it turned into me liking it. And I gotta say, I love this film now. I really do. I like this film now. I could sit here all day and cut up the acting, the characters, the story. It's a very simplistic story, but that's not really what the intent is. And you guys know me. I love character. I love story. Those are usually things that out front I need to have. I just love that stuff, especially in a horror film. Something more to chew on. This thing's more of a tension-filled, wacky, weird, horrifying, terrifying roller coaster ride that you go on. Tobe Hooper just ramps up the tension in this one. It's a ride. That's the best way I can describe it. You know what it's like going on a roller coaster. I'm fucking terrified of them. But you got that part in the roller coaster at the beginning where you know something's coming. You're rising. The panic starts to set, and then you go down the roller coaster. You're going around curves, ups and downs, all that, twists and turns, and that's what this is. When Leatherface finally shows up and Sally gets chased, and then there's the dinner scene, and then it finally ends with this epic ending of Sally getting away. It's just a roller coaster ride. And I miss that kind of filmmaking from the 70s. And I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot about that with these 70s horror films, is that real pure build up, the really slow build up, you know what I mean, where the payoff is so great at the end, knowing when to ramp things up and when not to. The modern movie going audience just kind of needs things thrown at them. There's no attention span, so a film like this may not work for them. Right now, I'm just generally speaking here, not everybody. So this is the biggest positive I think of this movie. And like I mentioned, this one was released in 1974, directed by Tobe Hooper and starring Marilyn Burns, Edwin Neal, and Gunnar Hansen. And Gunnar Hansen as Leatherface is awesome. I really do love his presence. I love all the kills in this. I mean, in your mind, you think this is a bloodfest, but it's not. There's a lot of suggestion here. There's not much blood in this movie. It's the horrific events that are happening. And, just the brutality of it. When he first meets Kirk and, Kirk's in the house and it surprises Leatherface, he whacks him with the hammer. You really hear it, man. It's like a whack, right? And then he's shaken all to death. And then when he sticks Pam on the hook, this is the best example, because you don't see a hook go in her. You just see her screaming. Leaves her there, and she's kind of reaching for it. So your mind just will fill in those blanks, right? But you kind of see Kirk lying on the table. Bastard starts up his chainsaw, right? And he does this kind of like great body language, and you hear the chainsaw. You don't see him get cut up. You see some blood splatter. Same with when he kills Franklin. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, right? He's killing this is another guy killing a guy in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? It's very horrific stuff. And your mind is just racing Your mind is what makes it bloody, right? Suggestion, right? The thing about Leatherface too is really simplistic guy who's not even really making out sentences. He's kind of moaning, and you see some stuff going on in there. They came into his home. That's the thing. He's not out stalking people and going after people to kill. It's more like him kind of protecting his family and being surprised. And a character named Jerry, when he goes to kill him, but he actually gets away. And like Leatherface turns his back on him for 1 minute, and then he's just like, he starts panicking. Like the killer's panicking. Leatherface is like, oh, what's going on? Then you see him sit down, and he's rolling his tongue around, and he's just looking because he looks out the window, and just it's fantastic stuff. And I really like how they use the masks. The masks are really awesome in this. How the masks represent what he's feeling. A different character, so to speak. Like when we first meet Leatherface, that's his working mask. That's what he kills in. You know, he kills for the family in. And then when they're prepping dinner, he's got the old woman's mask on, and his body language changes. He's more polite and got some etiquette to him, so to speak. And then there's the one with the smeared lipstick on. That might be the same mask. I honestly do not know. It's you know what I mean? At the one at the dinner table where he's looking at Sally like this. Creepy as fuck scene too, man. But yeah, Leatherface, really great character. I mean, good stuff. Now, Sally may not be everybody's favorite final girl. I really like her though, because I think she is a true survivor. When shit hits the fan, she finds out what's going on. Her brother's killed right in front of her. And she's just on a chase from that point on. She's running for her freaking life through the trees. She enters the farmhouse. She's going up the bloody stairs, and she's jumping out freaking windows. It just gets freaking crazy. She doesn't even have time to breathe until she meets the, I guess it's the brother. I'm assuming it's the oldest brother at the store there, kind of. And then he takes her back to their home again. That it all starts again. And there's this where you get this little bit of dark comedy. The wife and I just freaking laughed our heads off where he sees the door all messed up from Leatherface sawing through it. And he go, what did your brother do to the door? Doesn't he have any pride in his home, some bitch? And he's... we always got to laugh out of that one. But Sally just doesn't have... there's no time to flesh any character out. And that's why I like her, because she's just a true survivor. You know what I mean? And fuck, they did her dirty in the last Texas Chainsaw 2022. I mean, that is not the way to honor your character of this franchise. Like I said, I always liked her. I know a lot of people may not even consider her one of the greatest final girls, but she goes through fucking hell, man. And like that, let's talk about the dinner scene. The dinner scene is this classic. It's horrific. It's terrifying stuff where they got her tied up. They're cannibals, feeding her human flesh, you know. They're pawing at her and everything like that. Just, you know, and looking at her, and she's just going freaking crazy. Just complete being terrorized, you know, when they bring grandpa down and they're just, you know, they're hooting and hollering and all this kind of stuff. And all those, you know, all those eye shots are just terrifying, you know what I mean? With the close up of her eyes and a lot of quick cutting, the music, you know, hitting with a lot of these screeches and stuff like that. Really enjoy it. And Toby Hooper doing a lot of nice shots, you know what I mean? A lot of these shots of looking at the characters from a distance, those wide shots, you know, those panning wide shots coming over like this. The ass shot, you know, following Pam, but it's actually looking up at the house. And this almost like that saying, this beware where you're entering here. Almost like looking at Dracula's castle. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of. It's excellent stuff. And for a movie that was only made for 60 grand, the conditions they had to work through, like I said, the dinner scene there, it was hot as hell in Texas, apparently. Smell of rotting meat everywhere. The actors and whatever actresses taking breaks to throw up and everything. Let's salute people who are involved in making horror movies and have to go through that crap. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough making a horror film. Just that real raw, gritty, textured look to the whole movie because how low budget it is. That's where it really gets its stuff film from, where it feels like it's really happening. Like, and they do it in the advertising to make you like that open narration, making you believe that, yeah, this is something that actually really happened. You're not watching a film really. And that a lot of ways it doesn't feel like a film. It does feel like you're watching this real event. And I love that about this movie, Whereas the remake, it feels like a movie. After, you know, even though it did a pretty good job and everything like that, it feel at the end of the day, it feels like a movie. Where this, it's just, you know, it didn't feel like a movie. Now a lot of people will maybe go, it's so low budget, I can't watch it. Maybe you're one of those kind of people. Not me. I love the gritty look. I've really grown to love this movie. I mean, this may go up and up over time in my rankings and stuff like that. I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I'm going to give the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974 a solid B. But what about you guys? Do you like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Let me know in the comments below. Do you love it? Don't you like it? Did you come around to this movie? Or maybe you're more of a remake guy. Let me know in the comments. Let's talk some Leatherface. Let's talk some Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I appreciate you all for watching this video. Go down the rabbit hole. Check out my other horror reviews I've done. And I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.